Did Zuckerberg get mad at you?
Zucks was like, quit sending out chatbot messages.
Stop selling stuff.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I hate, and I know there's a lot of people who do well with the messenger stuff on Facebook. We even teach it, right? But at a high rate, when you start spending $1,000, $2,000 a day messenger, your pages will get blocked for sending so many messages. And I'm like, wait, I just freaking paid you to send these messages. You just took my money to send the messages. And now you block me for sending messages, right? It's insane. It makes no sense. Are we live?
Yeah, we are.
What's going on, everyone?
So this is the funniest thing too. So I pushed the live button on, and then this comes up. This is what comes up like right after I push the live button. There you go, man. You're all over the place.
I swear, Facebook decides to use the weird, or Facebook, YouTube, whoever, they decide to use the weirdest thumbnails every single time. And my eyes are closed. I'm looking 3 different ways. Like it's
awesome. Good. It's awesome. Well, hey, listen, guys, we're live here. Everybody, welcome to Whiskey Thursday. Another episode. What's up? Super excited tonight. We got an awesome guest, Aaron Martinez, with us tonight. We're going to talk about video. So we're really excited about it. And looks like somebody got their t-shirt.
Woohoo! My t-shirt! I've joined the big boys club.
You sure have. Looks good on you too.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I fill this out really well.
Yeah, that's an extra large. So if nobody,
I didn't even look.
If anybody ever gets an opportunity to meet Matt, you're going to be shocked how big this guy is, and not like fat or anything. The guy.
Well, it depends, man. In wintertime, I'm gonna be that guy.
So the story goes. So I ended up driving to Orlando last year. No, was it last year we did that, or was it the year before?
Last year.
It was last year, right? And I'm like, hey, Matt, you want to help me drive down to Orlando? Matt's like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, remember it snowed when we hit Ohio in like April or March or something.
It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So I show up at his house, and I get out of the car, and I drive a small like SUV, Mitsubishi SUV, right? And I get out of the car, and I walk up to his house, and there's this guy, like Matt's like 6'4". And I'm not a huge, but I'm like, whoa, you're way bigger in person than I expected, right? And then I'm like, Matt, I remember that I said, I'm so sorry, but like I drive a really small SUV, and like literally Matt's knees are like dug into the like that into the dashboard.
I think I rode most of the way to Florida like this.
Good. I think it's such an interesting phenomenon, like, because we see each other on video all the time, like videos, live, and things like that. And like you see people in person. This is gonna be a really weird thing that I don't really tell like anybody, but I have a weird like fascination with like, when I see somebody in person, the first thing I look at is their legs, because you never see like someone, like you always see this part up, right? When we're on like live videos and things like that. So it's like when I see somebody's legs, it's like this is weird, but okay, this all makes sense now. So
for all we know, you could be a centaur, right? For all we know,
I can have one leg. I could literally have, I can have no legs and you guys wouldn't even know.
Or goat legs. Make it really weird, right? He's literally a centaur. Is that what it is when they get the thing in Narnia?
Horse bottom?
Right,
yeah.
Right. We can have no idea, right? We can have no idea.
Sure we're safe,
like, oh my gosh, Aaron was a mythical creature the whole time.
You'd never know.
Oh man, I love it.
It's awesome though, meeting people in person, right? I mean, Matt and I drove all the way to Savannah. We met up with Zach Nussbaum and his wife, and like that was another one that we thought was like, whoa, you're really short, right?
Yeah.
But it's really different. It's really cool and really different to meet all these people you get to meet on video. And then finally get to meet him in person. I mean, it was a really cool experience to hang out with Matt for 2-3 days. I think we hung out and we partied in Savannah with Zach, and it was it's a great time, right? And
I think so. I don't remember 100%.
I don't remember a whole lot either. I remember losing our cars and ending
Where
up
do
in
we
different
park?
places.
You were supposed to keep track of it. We need more chicken and biscuits. Oh man.
Anyways, well, hey everybody, welcome to Whiskey Thursday. I kind of hit the go live button before I gave anybody a little notice here. But listen, if you're watching from YouTube, make sure to come and check us out here in the Real Estate Marketing Conversion Mastery Facebook group. We are live doing Whiskey Thursday here every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Myself and Matt, and usually with a special guest. And tonight, we've got Aaron Martinez. We're super excited to have you here, Aaron. Thanks so much for coming on the show tonight. I think we're going to talk. To be honest, usually we do a little pre-interview. We didn't really do that with you because we were having some issues, technical issues. But that's okay because we figured it out, right? So
yeah,
kind of. That's where we could.
yeah.
You know, that's how it goes. That's called production, right? We produce, make it happen. Because I mean, you're not here on your sexy, beautiful camera. You are here.
I mean, it's right before I probably got here 30, because I'm at a co-working space. I got here like 30 minutes early just so I can set everything up, got my ring light, my professional camera, I have my mic, like literally just like hanging out here, cords, wires everywhere. And we go up to fire the live and literally none of it worked. So I'm on my iPhone. We had to figure out, get it set up there. But
dude,
again,
it's like we said, like people make excuses all the time why they're not doing video, why they're not putting it out there. Myself included, right? I'm not going to throw anybody else under the bus. We're all going under there together. But like we make all these excuses, but right? You just jump on your phone, right?
yeah.
I mean, look, like it's better in this lighting. It's better than the camera that's on my computer.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it looks pretty damn good, actually, Aaron.
Right?
I think
it's the newest iPhone.
And we'll jump. Well, I think one of the newer ones. I think obviously we'll talk more about video stuff, but literally the single-handedly the best thing that you guys can do for video is just get good lighting. Like a ring light, like it doesn't even have to be a ring light. It could just be natural light, something that's showing right on you, so it gives your camera the opportunity to perform at its best, right? So, yeah, get a ring light. It's funny. I get the question all the time, like, what kind of camera do you use? Like, I literally just use my iPhone, like 90% of the time. It's just good lighting. So,
yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just invested in a brand new ring light, but I'm finding like it's a big one too, like a big 18-inch one. But at night I find it a little bit dim, and it's like full blast right now. I don't know.
I've got mine turned way down right now.
It is what it is. Maybe it's just my angle or something.
Could be.
Whatever.
Could be.
No idea.
Yeah.
I'd have to
Aaron,
be
we're gonna need some coaching.
I was gonna say, where are you, Shane?
You can come to Toronto.
Toronto. Oh, that's kind of far. I don't think no. Actually,
Did you hear that? It was like, hey, you're a great friend, but that's a drive.
No, our U.S. people can't go to Canada. I don't think.
No, you're not allowed here.
they kept us out. They're like, yeah,
we got to smuggle you in.
Sorry.
It's all right, dude. I am just north of Detroit. Like, there's a river, so we'll get some scuba gear. We'll get some scuba gear. Nobody.
We can go for a swim.
You totally could. You can go right into the Port Huron, or go into the edge of the river if you go in the right spot, and you can totally scuba across, and nobody'd know.
If you promise to do it with me, I'll do it.
The craziest
I feel like I'm one of those like enablers. I don't know if I really want to take that.
You know, the crazy part, Matt, is if you actually got caught doing that, they'd be like taking you out of helping you out of the water. It's like, hey, what are you doing here? Welcome.
Are you cold, eh? That was a cold trip, eh?
Literally, yeah, for sure.
Let's get you some cocoa while we find out what your charges are.
No, beaver tails and syrup, buddy. Beaver tails and syrup.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah, and real beer.
Oh man, I love it. All
right, enough fool around, guys. Hey, everybody watching, if you're watching live, #live. Let us know that you're tuning in here. Let us know where you're watching from. Aaron, where are you at?
Brett Rakowski says live with my boy.
There you go.
Brett, Mr. Brett. Hello, my friend. We're gonna talk lots about Brett. Obviously, good things later on.
Love it.
I'm in Virginia,
but when we're offline, right, not recording, we can talk the bad shit.
Like we were before. Yeah, exactly.
We'll go back to that stuff.
No, I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So I'm right on the coast. Just Virginia, like 5 minutes from the beach.
Gotcha. Nice.
Last time I was there, I was in a hotel room and almost escorted out by security.
Goodness.
And so the other thing that ended up happening too, we were partying really hard in Virginia Beach, and I guess the undertow's really like, you got to be careful if you go out, and we're out there like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, hey, I'm Canadian, I'm gonna go in the water. And I'm loaded. Right?
Yeah, there's
everybody's like, all the locals like are like coming into the, like, don't go too far, right? We don't want to lose you.
Shane's like, I just want to go swimming without polar bears for once.
Yeah, depending on where you go, it could get pretty bad. So there's this, obviously I won't go too deep into it, but they do this thing, it's called dredging, and they literally, it's when they, for tourists, they take like parts of sand to like a different part, and there's these pockets of like deepness that you can't see. So, and there's signs that literally say, don't go to this spot. So hopefully obviously you didn't go to that spot because we're on this live, but for anybody else that decides to come to Virginia, don't go into the water at night.
Right. That's the spot where the Navy SEALs train, right?
Exactly.
It was a great time though. We had a blast in Virginia when I left. So I drove from Toronto to Nashville, from Nashville to Virginia is that was my trip. And when we got to Virginia, it was so freaking hot. Like, it's hot there, right? Like, I think it was in the middle of the summer or something that we were doing this road trip. And we left Virginia, and I ended up I blew a water pump on the highway, and ended up breaking down out there. So still a great time though before that. But
yeah.
The locals were really, really nice. Like, we just ended up meeting a bunch of local people from the bars and restaurants, and just hung out with them and partied with them. So it was a good time, good memories in Virginia Beach. Yeah.
Super humid. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what you're up to, what you're doing. I mean, you're in the academy, which is awesome. So thank you for that. Thanks for the support. But most recently, you're kind of popping up all over the place. I mean, when we went live, like, the first thing that comes up on my news feed is you and your videos, So what's up with that? Tell us a little bit of, what's going on with Aaron Martinez, and a little bit of history, and then maybe we can dive into a little bit of, what you're doing for real estate agents and things like that.
Yeah. So you guys will figure out I'm a talker. So I'll try to keep it condensed down a little bit, but I've been in, we'll say, like, the social media world for probably I'm 25 now. When I was about 13, I started like my first like YouTube channel. I'm not going to say what it was.
Come on, tell us what it is.
I can't, no, I will never, literally 13-year-old Aaron is not the most attractive thing. And my voice,
we don't record this or post it anywhere, so you can tell us.
Maybe after I'll give you a little sneak peek.
That's good.
Share with everybody. But yeah, so I started on YouTube like a long time ago, making a lot of different videos and really trying to find like my voice. Like, I was doing a lot of like gaming stuff back before like gaming on YouTube was a thing. I was doing some of that. And long story short, was transitioning a little bit more into like the Snapchat side of things back in like 2015 when it was super popular, we'll say. And I made a couple videos. Literally, you can go search on YouTube right now, how to use Snapchat. And on that first page, I have like probably 15, 20 videos.
Really?
It was a random, like, I think I have over the first video that's on there will be like, how do you use Snapchat for beginners? It has like 6 or 7 million views. And
wow.
Yeah, overall, I think I have like 31, 32 million views. And it was just literally.
Let's take a look. We've got a superstar in our midst.
No, so that was a couple of years back.
So it doesn't work if you spell it wrong.
SNAPCHAT. So now I just rebranded it to the Real Estate Marketing Guys, which you'll see Brett's lovely face on there, because we're partnering up with some a lot of things actually. But yeah, so it was literally like, when I say the most random thing ever, Break the Internet was what it used to be called. And this was a channel that I made it for like a podcast 3 years before. And I was like, well, I need a YouTube channel to throw this video up there. So let me just throw it up there and see what happens. And I didn't notice that I was gaining followers or anything like that for the longest time. And then I opened up my Snapchat app one day and was like, why do I have like 30 new followers? And I was like, okay, this is weird. So then I opened up the next day and I had like 60 new follower requests. And the next day was like 100, and like it was just so many different people that was adding me. I was like, where are these people coming from? I was like, okay, let me go check that YouTube video and see what's up. So I went back to it, and it was up there for like 2 or 3 months, and it didn't really do anything. And I looked back at it, and it was at like 7,000 or 8,000 views. I was like, where are these people coming from? And then the next day it was at 20,000 views, and then the next day it was at 50,000 views, and the next day it was at like 130,000. I was like, holy shit! Like, where are these people coming from? So I was like, okay, this might be something, because I went to search for other videos on how to use Snapchat, and there was nothing. So I was like, okay, this might be like a gold mine. So I made another video, and that one hit like 120,000 views in like 12 hours. I was like, okay, this is good. So I kept, doing kind of the same thing, and I was uploading videos, and that, grew to a point where there was a point where I was getting like 50 or 60,000 people watching every single one of my Snapchat stories.
Wow.
So that converted a little bit more into, brand, like the whole influencer thing. So I worked with a couple large brands. So the one that you talked about, Zillow. So if you guys search Zillow,
like I said, we won't hold it against you.
they reached out. It wasn't like it was like a one-off thing. So it wasn't.
He's coming over from the dark side.
So it was if you search Zillow Snap Houses up there, and literally what they did was they flew me and 5 other like Snapchat creators to this like $14 million house in Malibu, and they literally like all expenses paid, and they were like, it was the camera crew from Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They hired them to literally film us just make Snapchat stories all day. So it was like a reality type TV show thing, just on Snapchat. So worked with Zillow. I helped Disney kick off their Snapchat account. NASDAQ in New York City. So there's a couple of pictures and videos and stuff of me on it was like the largest billboard in Times Square with my Snapchat code. Just like partnering up with them. So
wow,
again, cool. It was a lot of Snapchat stuff, and then that just transitioned more into, because I did the thing with Zillow, I'd always thought about real estate, and that's kind of the transition into, we'll say, more or less like what it is now. So
okay, are you a Snapchat god? Is that what it is, or you had a couple YouTube videos take off? What's going on?
Well, that's what it was. So random YouTube videos kick off, and then I kind of like filled the role, because I was like, well, people are coming to this channel for like Snapchat stuff. So I would make videos every time there was an update. I learned it really, really well. So I guess you can say that. And I hosted so it was the world's first and only Snapchat award show. So they flew me out it was in London. And they flew me out there, and I basically just was like an MC for this event for like Snapchat stuff. So
hey,
yeah, it was fun, but as quickly as we all know, like Snapchat was a thing, and then it died like really shortly after that. So I was ignorant at the time. I was like, yeah, Snapchat's gonna be a thing forever, and then it really quickly died out, and I was like, okay, shit, like I need to do something else, because Snapchat's like dead now. So
really quickly, what do you think? What is it that, because obviously like you're doing videos about Snapchat, but the reality is that you're leveraging YouTube to get your followers, right, and building your subscriber base and so on. What do you think? Like, I know that if I go do a video on YouTube, I'm going to get 3 views, right? So what do you think you did different? Is it because you're a better looking guy than I am? Like what is it? Like, is it
at the
subject?
At the time, yeah. At the time, I was a scrawny like 20-year-old, so it was I don't think it was that second thing that you said, but really I think what it was it was just nobody else was doing it. I remember like specifically when that video started going crazy, I was like, well, let me see who else is like making videos on this, and I would search it, and there was no other people that were uploading videos on it. And if there was other people that were doing it, it was literally they took my video, downloaded it, and re-uploaded it. So they were like they were making like their ad revenue or whatever from my video. But yeah, nobody else was talking about it. And
so it's just the fact that you covered a subject that nobody else was like, that's what you feel kind of generated all that traffic.
The search volume was up here and the competition was down here.
Right.
Yep.
So there was a shit ton of people searching it, but nobody was making content but me. So I was like, I became that go-to guy with Snapchat.
Wow.
Cool. Really cool.
That's awesome.
Very random.
Right? So with that, I mean, you
So
do get
sorry,
hacked.
is Snapchat dead? Like, is it like I'm not up with the times? I don't think.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
not.
Snapchat was still a thing, right? No
It's
kids aren't
not
using that anymore.
growing, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's the biggest thing that they did was they kind of shot themselves in the foot. They tried to move too quickly. Kind of like, you know how Facebook, Facebook and Instagram just try to take everyone's features and things like that. Well, Snapchat was trying to do the same thing with Facebook. And then they were just realizing that, like, okay, well, we just did this thing that made the user functionality way harder for the, for the end user. And then it just kind of tanked from there. And now, like, there's still a lot of people that use it, but nowhere near like what it was.
Yeah.
The attention's moving, right? TikTok.
Now we got TikTok. TikTok.
TikTok.
Is that what it's called?
TikTok.
TikTok, right?
Oh man.
Yes, TikTok.
Am I showing my age yet? Yeah, a little bit. That shit's so addictive, dude. Every day, man. I'm on the TikTok.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's craziness. Well, listen.
Well, hang on.
Awesome.
We're
What a
still,
great
we're
story,
still on
man.
YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
wait, I just saw 6.8 million views on that video. So something like that, what's the ad revenue look like as you get more and more views? Because obviously you've had more than just that. Like, that's just one video. Like, for people who are interested in YouTube, can you live off ad revenue? Is ad revenue a supplement? What is ad revenue for those of us who are not YouTube famous?
Yeah, 1 million.
Show us your PayPal account.
And that's the thing that a lot of people like always ask me, like, you should probably make a lot of money off it. YouTube is like, it's such a supplement. I mean, I can give you the number. Like right now, I think I'm averaging about 10,000 views. It's like 100,000 views a month is what I'm averaging. I think last time I looked at it. I think my last YouTube check was like $900.
Okay.
Wow.
So nothing. Like, I mean, obviously it's there to supplement, but for stuff like thinking of, like, let's say you have a YouTube channel, you're like, yeah, I'm getting 100,000 views a month. It's like, it's nothing. Now, obviously there was a point where I was getting like 2 million views a month, which was obviously that was better. But yeah, unless you're like making a lot, like YouTubers these days, like they make a lot of money off of the ad revenue if they're doing millions of views like per video.
Right.
But where they really get the main bucks
selling
is
shit,
through
right?
The what?
Like sell stuff, right? Is that what they're making their money off?
Well, sponsors is where.
Sponsors. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, some of those, not me, because I wasn't like, I was big on Snapchat, but there was like some people that would get paid like I knew a guy, his name is Mike, and he would do a 10 Snapchat story, like kind of like what it was called a brand deal. He was getting paid like for 10 snaps. It took him probably, I don't know, a day. He was getting paid $80,000.
Wow.
For just because he had I think he was getting like 200,000 or 300,000 people watching each of his Snapchat stories. So it was worth it for the brand a lot of times, but like some of these people were doing crazy numbers for.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Aaron, listen, if you ever need any sponsors, man, we're here.
I'll put it up on the. Put it on the.
We're here. We can use the additional cash.
Game out here throwing
Sounds
tens
good.
of thousands for a snap.
Just yeah, I'll do a snappity chat or a TikTok or something, whatever you want, man.
MySpace.
Well, listen, guys, let's call out a few people. We got a bunch of people watching here. We got Gus here watching. He says it's sunny in Mexico. What's going on? Joe's here. Brett is here. What is up? Emiliano's here. Ricardo's here. Victoria just tuned in. Sorry if I pronounced the name. Jacinta? I don't think I'm saying that right. Sorry about that.
I think that's right.
Is that right? Okay. There you go. Guys, welcome. If you're watching live, #live. We're here on Whiskey Thursday with Aaron Martinez, and we're going to talk a little bit more. But we just found out that Aaron was a superstar on Snapchat.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Back in the day, I think I
day.
could probably still pull like 3,000 views per snap, which is pretty cool. But I never use it.
Yeah. So what are you using now? Like, are you doing TikTok? Are you doing more YouTube stuff? Are you doing more Facebook stuff? Like, what's
mostly Facebook and YouTube, just because that's where our ideal clients live, right? So it would be kind of I wouldn't say it'd be pointless to go on. I mean, TikTok, it's literally like the user age, right? Demographic is building every day. So I think that might be something that like I'm posting on there just to do it really. But other than that, it's just something where,
dude, I'm on there every day. So like,
are you posting on there every day?
I'm not posting on it. I'm just watching the
we
garbage
that goes there.
It's so,
dude, yeah, there's some good stuff lately.
Addictive, man. It's like every I wouldn't say every moment that I get, whenever I can't do something else, I'm like, oh, whatever. Well, let's go take a look, right? Let's look at some nice cars. Let's look at some nice houses. Let's look at whatever. But it's like what I've found was that so last night. I was on there and I'm like, the crap's boring. But the day before, it was like, it was showing me all the stuff that I wanted to see, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just like the algorithm just seems to be so good. Like, especially compared to Facebook. Yeah, like it's just like, I'm bored of Facebook, to be honest. Like, it's just, I'm tired of seeing the same posts over and over and over. Now I can look at like nice cars or motorcycles hitting other cars or
hitting other cars.
Right?
Like, dude, actually, you know what? Last night there was a video that popped up about this mom who was like just came out of anesthesia from the dentist or whatever, and her husband told her that they had just stole the 3 kids, their own kids, in the back. He's like, we just stole these kids. He's like, we're gonna sell them. And she looked back and she's like, we gotta take them back. They're her own kid. It was the most amazing thing. Anyway, sorry, sidetracked.
Victoria says she just made her first TikTok, so we're gonna have to go find Victoria's TikTok here.
Sounds good. Is it under Victoria Kennedy?
Yeah, Victoria, is that under? Yeah. What? How do we find that TikTok?
Oh man. So you crushed it with YouTube and Snapchat. What happens next?
Okay, so did this stuff with Snapchat, went really quickly. From there, I think I got to a point where I was like, okay, I need to do something else. What I did was with working Gazilla, I started to do like more research on like real estate and things like that. And I think it was, I might have saw an ad or something like that for just like real estate something or another. And I was like, oh, let me do some research, and I did. And then just, things happen for a reason. I saw an ad in my local like area to start, like there was somebody that a local real estate company was looking for a videographer. So I was like, well, this seems kind of like a good like foot in the door type thing. And yeah, I applied for the job. I sent them a video interview. I was like, hey, like this is what I've done over the past couple months. Like, I'm interested in the position that you had. And they had me interview the next day, and I got the job pretty.
They had you interview. They weren't like, I don't know if we can afford this guy.
they saw, because they were like, as soon as I sent the video, they were like, oh, like, this is like way different than what anybody else has done before. Like, let's have this guy in. And really, it wasn't like an interview. I kind of just went in. They were like, hey, like, tell us about yourself. And then I was like, well, I did this stuff with Snapchat and blah, blah. And they're like, all right, well, come back in tomorrow and let's get started. And I was like, okay. So yeah, that was that part. And then I worked there for probably about a year and a half, I think. I worked there. And then at that time is when I got smacked with Ty Lopez. And not by Ty Lopez, by his ads.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, not personally slapped. He's on the other side.
I'm like, is this at a conference or something? Why would he slap? Okay.
He found me and smacked me upside the head. No, so I saw his ads and, his whole like, hey, here in my garage, like blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So I think I took his course, and then I went through Dan Henry's course, just learning about like, oh, you can make, whatever, $10,000 a month running Facebook ads. And I was like, okay, cool. So I did that. And then what happened was I started the agency, right? What I was calling at the time. This was back in 2018. And I was posting about it on Facebook. I was like, hey, just started this agency, Dan Henry's whole, curious student approach for like free trials and stuff like that. And because I think, Shane, you went through Dan Henry's, right?
Yeah. We all did.
We both did.
We all did.
We all did. Okay.
Everybody that's here, we all went through it.
Yeah. So Dan Henry went through like all of his stuff, and I was trying the free trial stuff, and I was like, what the real estate company I was working with, they found out that I was doing the agency stuff. And I remember clear as day, I got a message in the morning, like a Slack message, and the owner was like, "Hey, I need you to come into the office." I was like, "Okay." So I went to the office, and she was like, "Hey, so we saw that you're doing this agency thing, and you signed something that said that you wouldn't do anything outside of work. So you have two options here. Number one, you can keep working with us, or number two, you can have your own agency." So I was like, well, shit. I just invested into this thing, and I don't want to just like go to waste. Like I think we all have like that entrepreneurial like bug or whatever. And I was like, all right, well, let me go try this thing out.
So they gave you an ultimatum, like, you're going to work with us or you're on your own.
Yep. So they were just like, okay, you have those two options. I was like, okay, cool. But I was just like, I think part of it was wanting to do my own thing, and the other part of it was pride almost, because the tonality was like, we know you probably can't do this yourself, so you're probably going to stay with us. And I was like, I'm gonna leave.
Dude, that's crazy that they would come at you like that. Like, you're either gonna do it for us or you're on your own.
And the thing was too, is like, it wasn't necessarily like, even, it was kind of related, but I was doing like the ad stuff for like, small businesses.
But it's not unusual for employers to have agreements in place where it's like, you can't start your own business.
Yeah, but real estate. I mean, we're talking real estate, right? Like,
like, okay, well, but you're still, if you're an employee.
Were you slacking? Were you not doing your job? Were you?
No, it was pretty much like, as soon as I remember I posted like an introduction video, because I mean, I make videos, so I posted the introduction video, and I'll never forget. It was 4th of July 2018 that I posted it, because I remember I was at like a family party or whatever, and then I went home and posted the video, and I got a shit ton of engagement on it, a bunch of people reaching out. And then the next day I think that was like a Saturday, and then the Monday I went into work, and they were like, "Hey, you can't do this." I was like, well, shit.
Like, think about that for a second though. If you're an agent watching, like, you had somebody who's working for you, and I'm assuming you're working, was it full-time, part-time?
Oh, it was full-time.
So you're working full-time. You're not taking away from that, but you're also, moonlighting or whatever you want to call it. But like, these people had somebody like you who probably would have like forever like hooked them up if you had blown up and decided to do your own thing and leave on your own. If you'd have done it on your own terms, you'd probably hook them up forever, versus like them giving you this ultimatum. It's like, well, now look at what they lost out on based on where you are now.
Yeah. Well, actually, funny story, they're our client now. So, and it's funny because Brett, Brett actually knows, I won't say her name,
right?
But we're running a lot of her YouTube ads now.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure Brett was doing like their Facebook stuff, and he came into town, I think it was like last year. Brett, if you're still on here, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was last year. I didn't know Brett at the time. But he came and did like an in-person like training for her. But yeah, fast forward to now, we're working pretty closely with her. So
that's awesome.
Everything comes full circle. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it all worked out. It's still like mind blowing that somebody would be like, "Oh no, there's no way you can do this and that. We're not going to let you do it."
It honestly isn't that unusual. It's not.
He's like, shut up. It is not unusual.
It's not.
No,
it's not like I've seen enough agreements. I've worked for enough companies, or I've consulted for enough companies. I've seen enough employees. It's not. I've seen employees fired because of this, where they've started up side hustles, and it's the exact same thing. They get pulled in. It's like, what are you doing? You're expected to work 80 hours a week. How can you run a side?
I don't know. I've seen, like, again, from the real estate standpoint.
When's the last time you worked a real job?
Real estate standpoint, from the teams that I've worked with, from the teams that I've talked.
It's totally different, because real estate agents are subcontractors, right?
I know, but
it's completely different. I'm telling you.
I'm wait. You finish and then I'll go.
Mom, Dad, come on, be nice.
No, but for real, like,
you're lucky you got a fucking t-shirt.
No, but we had. Oh man, we had what's it called? marketers. We had marketers, like we had hired companies, and like these people worked for multiple people, right? Like, and they're
That's
not
totally different. It's not the same.
They're not companies. They were like an individual, like Aaron, right? Who we'd hire, and we'd be working with Aaron, but Aaron also worked with other people, right? And so it's just strange, like, to hear that idea. But I guess if it's normal in the corporate space or in the like regular world, that makes sense. I
don't know, maybe real estate's completely fucking different than every other industry out there. Like maybe like I do tend to think that real estate has its own place. The real estate industry is very, very special industry, right? Yeah, it is completely unusual in the real estate industry.
It definitely does. It definitely does.
Here's what I'll say.
Anyways, I just think they missed out. I'm just saying.
I think I can see both sides, right? I can see like where she was, where it's like,
would you mediate for us, Aaron?
I was like, okay, both sides, right? It's like, from me, I knew that like, I mean, I like to consider myself a hardworking guy. So there wasn't going to be a point where like I was I wasn't performing this aspect and like underperforming here. But from her, it was like, well, if I'm paying this guy full time, then I want him to be able to like make sure that I don't know. I can see both sides is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
No, it does make sense. I do see both sides. I just like, again, it just seems short-sighted in my opinion. So that's why it's like.
Of course it is. Absolutely. Well, hey, listen, a bunch of people here are here. They've just joined because they're looking. They're interested. They want to see the fight.
They want to see the fight. They want to see the fight. Shane's wrong. Shane's wrong, everybody.
But there's a bunch of, it's interesting because, so I'm curious to know, like, from the people that are watching, how many other people are from Dan Henry's program? Because it's kind of interesting that a lot of us came from that program. So Luke Shankula, who was part of Dan Henry, he ended up actually getting kicked out.
Yeah, I just saw something about that. What? I didn't even know this.
Yeah.
He got kicked out?
Yeah, I think he ended up getting kicked out for a post or something.
Was he doing affiliate marketing and agency or what?
Coaching or something. Victoria Kennedy, same thing. So by the way, Victoria, just a quick little thing if you're still watching. So if like the first, so she did a TikTok, right? And I think she puts it under Victoria's Secret. So if you go and search Victoria's Secret, unfortunately, Victoria, you don't come up. So hundreds and hundreds of posts of like other tags for Victoria's Secret.
I will find her. Give me time.
Go for it. Enjoy. Enjoy. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in here. We're here with Aaron Martinez. If you're watching live, let us know down in the comments. We're having a lot of fun here. It's actually good. This is a great Whiskey Thursday. And Aaron, thanks so much for joining us. I want to get into
of course.
I want to get into some of the cool stuff that you're doing now, especially, given that the audience is, real estate or real estate marketers. We have real estate agents inside of this group. And part of, Whiskey Thursday is, about trying to add as much value as possible and just, trying to let, people are trying to figure out how to do videos, right? And I think it's a very, very challenging thing. So I have a client actually that I have he just like literally an hour ago, WhatsApp still something, right? Yeah. Because
what?
WhatsApp.
What did you say?
WhatsApp?
Oh,
WhatsApp?
Okay.
Yeah, WhatsApp. Yeah.
You call it what's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? Right? So like he literally, yeah, like I'm like, okay, well, like he's like, I'll send it to you through WhatsApp, and I'm like, what is that? So I've been and he's probably watching. He's a good client, but I've been bugging him for weeks. Like, I need some video. Give me some videos so I can build some retargeting campaigns and put that out there. And I think this is a really, really big challenge. I mean, Matt had his brand over brawn program, which is a lot about creating video content and building more authority inside of your space. I think this is an ongoing challenge for marketers to get their real estate agents or clients that they're working with to produce these videos, right? But you've found a whole different way of doing this. And it's like, fuck it. If my clients aren't sending me videos, guess what? I'm your video guy. I'm going to be a spokesperson, right? And that's what you've been doing. So tell us a little bit more about like exactly, you know, what you're doing for your clients, what that looks like, and sort of, you know, what kind of results you're seeing with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I guess one thing that I'll start with, and this is the same with, you know, a lot of different things, whether it's like you creating content for your like real estate, or I'm sorry, like you creating for your real estate agency or for your real estate clients. The biggest thing, and this is the same thing with a lot of different things, is you can't expect somebody to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. So for example, if you're pestering your, let's say, not you specifically, but just in general, like if you want your clients to create video content, but you're not like consistently creating content yourself, it's something that you can't really, number one, like express that emotion of someone's like, oh, well, I'm scared to be on video or whatever it is you can't coach that if you're saying that as an excuse for yourself to not create content. So that would be the first thing that I would say. And then in terms of the offer, we'll say, is so we transitioned, my business partner Karan and I have partnered up with Brett, the one and only Brett Redkowski, and really what we're doing is, instead of, again, with a big portion of the YouTube ad side of things, right? There's a lot of people that are testing it out and they're using stock video and, you know, typography type things where, yeah, you can generate leads, but the whole idea of YouTube ads is to create a relationship with your potential client. So instead of us, because again, the YouTube ads we're creating are like anywhere from 6 to 10 minutes long. So instead of us saying like, hey, Mr. Real Estate Agent, I need a 6-minute video of you educating the audience about X, Y, and Z, either number one, it's going to take them 5 years to get it back to me, or number two, they're never going to do it in the first place. So instead of going through that whole process, I'm going to put up my camera, I'm going to shoot the 6-minute video in 1 or 2 takes, and then run that as the ad and know that it's going to work every single time. So that's high level. I don't know if I can go more specific into that, but that's more or less what we're doing.
Very cool. Well, that solves the problem.
Exactly.
That does definitely solve the problem. Sorry, it looked like you had a question.
Luke keeps asking about issues with this, doing the videos for the clients in compliance. He's very concerned about this. Luke, yep. We're surprised to see you this early. When I saw his name, I was like, wait, what? Is it 9:45 already?
Is it? No, it's
no.
not. I was like, oh shit, it's been an hour or an hour and a half. So in terms of compliance, it's jumping that line. There's never a point where I'm saying like, I'm going to sell you this thing, right? We have disclaimers in place that says, essentially, like, I'm a paid actor is basically what it is, right? If you had like a paid actor, same thing with, you watch like a commercial on whatever it is that's like that has that weird compliance, and yeah, it says like the disclaimer that we have is, or the terms and conditions, whatever. Brett's the like technical guy. I just make the videos, so that's probably a better question for Brett. But yeah, so there's never a point where I'm saying like, I'm going to give you a call, I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing. So we kind of dance around that compliance line, and then yeah, exactly. So I'm just essentially a paid actor.
You dance on the safe side of the gray line.
Yes, if we can say that.
Luke says he's only here because he's waiting for food at a restaurant.
Thanks,
so he can
Luke.
take it home.
We appreciate your support, man.
We
really nice of you.
We're so excited to be your takeout waiting room entertainment. Shane, that's our next avenue for advertising. Let's find takeout rooms where people are sitting, on the bench at Outback waiting for their carryout.
Absolutely.
Boom. There we go.
Absolutely.
That's a thing.
I'm surprised they're watching this show. You should be watching TikTok. Way more entertaining. Way more entertaining.
Speaking of video, Aaron, I don't know if you've seen this. Hulu is opening up their platform for small advertisers. Assuming your budget is $500 or more a day, they are opening up their platform to video advertisers on Hulu.
Yeah, I saw it. Somebody was talking about me, or talking to me about that the other day, and I was like, if like the targeting is as specific as it is on YouTube, and like, because I mean, at the end of the day, at least what I'm assuming is that they're gonna get like, you sign up for Hulu, they know if you're male or female, they know your demographic, they know the shows that you're watching. right?
Yeah.
So those would be the specifics. I mean, same thing with Google and YouTube, right? They own literally the entire internet.
Right.
So that's why, that's why YouTube ads work so well, why we're seeing some really good results there. But yeah, it's super interesting. If someone can, I mean, we'll probably test it out and see, what's up. We'll create some more quote unquote professional type video ads to test out on there. Brett, let's do some research.
Yeah, actually, I've got the how to buy Hulu sheet. I already signed up, right? Already targeting demo, geo, genre, device, behavioral, multicultural, advanced TV. So that's what they say. Premiums may apply. So I don't know if it's more for different things or whatnot. But yeah, they've got a lot of interesting things that they're putting out there. So I was curious if that's something that is on the horizon for you guys since you're video.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's something we'll look into. I think we're going really hard with like the YouTube stuff now, just because it's something that's like how do I put this? It's something that's almost going to be unduplicatable because we have like the process situated in a way that, again, like we're doing pretty much everything in house, so we can get a YouTube ad campaign up and running within 24 hours. So we're going to spend a lot of time doing that, and then down the road, if it makes sense, it might be something that we look into.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about, and maybe you're not the right guy to answer this specific question, only because he just said.
Always the best way to preface it.
Brett is the tech guy, right? So if Brett wants to come on and talk tech, let's get Brett on here.
We have to get a YouTube ad like Whiskey Thursday going.
YouTube ad Whiskey Thursday. Oh, like an ad for Whiskey Thursday?
That's actually a pretty good idea.
We're Brett and I will talk about like the technical and all that stuff. Obviously, a couple weeks from now, or later down the road, we'll talk about what we're seeing works on YouTube. We're generating sellers with YouTube, which is really cool.
Well, yeah. So this is kind of what I wanted to ask you, right? Like, what are you seeing? So number one, what are you doing on YouTube? Like, what is this? Obviously, you're more than willing to share because number one, you're on Whiskey Thursday, and number two is you can't duplicate it. Right. So I'm sure you're free to share with this. So what kind of videos are you doing on YouTube that is attracting sellers and buyers? We're in a real estate group here. So that's what everybody wants, right? Sellers and buyers. So what is it that you're doing on YouTube? What kind of videos are you doing?
Yep. So it's literally all on education, education around a lot of different topics, right? So we'll probably jump down this. We'll just jump down it now. In terms of like different targeting, the three things that we're focusing on in terms of targeting are search intent, affinity audiences, and then household income is something that we're testing around with too. But the first one is the most important when creating that content, because you can literally target people that are searching specific terms, right? So things like how to buy a home, what does the home buying process look like, what is my home worth? How do I sell my home? Should I sell my home myself, right? These are the terms that people are looking into. So what we do is we create an ad around those terms, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, right? Just educating people with a call to action of, hey, instead of trying to sell your home yourself because you're probably going to lose out on a shit ton of money, fill out this form and blah, 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 right? So, but the biggest thing there is just being able to target those people that are already searching those things. If you're on YouTube or Google, you're not just searching these things for your health, right? You're searching because you're interested in whatever that time frame is. Sometime in the near future, you want to pull the trigger on either buying a house or selling your current house. So again, we just put the ads in front of those people and then educate them on the same type of video that they're probably searching up anyway. Yep. And then we just beat them to it and do better than the actual video itself. And then the call to action is fill out this form, and then of course they go through our system through the automation, ISA, things like that.
Nice. That's awesome.
Cool.
And so these people are watching, or is this like a single video they watch? They join a lead ad, or they go to a landing page, or what does that look like?
You're saying after they watch the ad?
Yeah, let's say they watch one ad. Are they getting nothing until they watch 2 or 3 ads, or are they going straight to a landing page? What's it look like?
Yep. So they go straight to a landing page. They go to basically a form is what they go into to fill out. We're testing like different things, but that's what's working the best. I think we generated we're on a $50 a day budget. I think today we generated 3 seller leads. One of them looked, because I forgot exactly what questions, again, better question for Brett. But one of them I think was actively looking in the next 30 to 60 days to sell. One of them said they don't know when they're looking to sell, but they would sell with it like immediately if the time was right, or if the price was right. And then the third one I think was like 60 days plus. So it's working, right? We're getting people through. At the end of the day, it's going to be a numbers game, and that cost per lead is a little bit higher than, let's say, something like Facebook for check the value of your house, whatever. But the intent is there because, again, we're hitting those three things. The first one being the search, right? They're actively searching for those things. The second one is we can target people and use links from Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, Redfin. We can take the traffic from there and target those people. And then also, this is more for the buyer side, household income. So we can target people that are in the top 50, top 40, top 10% of income earners, because again, it's Google. They know where people are searching. They know where they're buying stuff. So when we put all those together, it's like you're literally creating and only targeting the people that you want. And then by the time they come through the funnel, they fill out the form, and then we send them to the ISA, where they're warm and they're already in that position that they're doing research on that stuff.
Okay, makes sense. So with that, have you tried this sort of video funnel on Facebook?
Yeah, so something similar. It's a lot shorter, right? It's a lot shorter of a video because, like I said, with the YouTube ones, they assume that like they're already there to watch longer content.
Okay.
So we do them about like six minutes. Like 6 is around like the average, like 4 to 6 minutes. On Facebook, we do generate them, but it's that whole thing between like intent versus disruption, right? Like on Facebook, like, yeah, we might get some leads, but they're still going to be in that, like, on average, like 8-month to 12-month time frame of like actually doing something. Mm-hmm. So we have tested it, yes, but what we're using Facebook for the YouTube side is more of retargeting of like, hey, you just went to this page, you watched our 6-minute video, like, why didn't you book a call? Is kind of the angle that we're using for Facebook.
So same video, 2 different platforms. You're seeing a stronger lead, higher quality lead on YouTube.
Every single time. Yep.
Really?
Well, on Facebook, we're not doing the long video just because people fall off, right? Because they're not looking for that, right? They're not going through, because the targeting is good on Facebook, right? But again, it's just that whole, like, someone scrolling through, they see a 6-minute video from some random guy, they're probably not going to watch it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, again, on the YouTube side, like we're completely transitioning everything from Facebook to YouTube for the front end, and then retargeting to YouTube and then retargeting on Facebook.
Okay, gotcha.
And you're creating all the content, right? Yashir asked who creates the videos. So
yep.
It's you and your team that's basically creating all the content for
Correct.
that, right?
Yep.
So let me ask you this: like, for a real estate agent that kind of wants to, do this for themselves, right? Because it's not everybody out there it's not every real estate agent that can, afford the $5,000 to $10,000 retainers, rock star here. So, but for real estate agents that want to do this for themselves, what would be sort of your recommendation in terms of like, hey, this is what you need to do to just get started?
Yeah, I think with YouTube ads, the main expectation that I would set is just expect a lot higher cost per lead and a lot less leads, but those leads are so much better quality. Like right now, I think Brett could tell you better because he tracks all the statistics, but we're seeing from lead to appointment, we're seeing about 85% conversion from lead to appointment.
Nice.
But again, our average lead cost is probably I'd say about $10, like $7 to $10. So it's no 90-cent lead that you can get on Facebook, or $2 or $3, whatever it is. So you are going to spend, I think minimum we're starting $1,000 ad spend, like bare minimum. Like I wouldn't spend anything less than that. And then, yeah, that would just be the biggest thing, is just expect to spend a little bit more and expect to test, right? Like, again, Brett can tell you more on like the technical side, but there's just so much other things that you can target that are like, you can literally target people that are in market. Like that's a specific like category you can take. It's like you click in market for people that are specifically like looking to buy or sell based on their search history on Google. So that would be just the biggest thing. And then there's content all around like YouTube that you can look out about YouTube ads. So, but the only thing is, like, everyone talks about running Facebook ads, right? There's a lot of resources out there. There's not as much on not as much about YouTube ads specifically for real estate. which that might be a little hint.
So that maybe that's a good question. Like, so if a real estate agent was to come to you and say, hey, listen, I want to, like, I can spend the time, I can start figuring out how to run YouTube ads. What can you give me an idea of like 2 to 3 different types of videos I can run for myself to help me generate more leads, regardless of the cost per lead? I just want to start using this platform. What kind of content would you suggest that the real estate agents run on YouTube?
Yeah, so the biggest, and this ties into like content that I would recommend them, like a real estate agent, to create even organically, and that is just focusing in on the pain points of your ideal client. So great example, what we're seeing success with, I mean, you guys can go and steal this if you want to try it, but running it, because it's a lot of, it's a seller's market right now, is a lot of times, for example, let's say someone's searching like, should I sell my home myself? We all know that it's not the best idea because you'll lose a bunch of money. It's a massive headache, contracts, this, that, and the other thing. So using, targeting the keywords of, people searching, should I sell my home myself? And then you literally make a video. It's like, hey, if you're watching this video, there's a good chance that you're searching up something like, should I sell my home myself? In this video, or in this really quick, 2-minute video, I'm going to give you all the reasons why that's literally the worst thing you can do. So stay tuned, and I'm going to give you a couple of the tips. And then you run through, number 1, this is why you shouldn't do it, because you're going to lose out a bunch of money. Number 2 is you're going to book, and then you just go through the different things. And then once you give them that value and educate them a little bit, and then it's just like, okay, cool. So if this was helpful at all, again, like, you don't want to sell your home yourself. Right now, we're seeing a lot of success within the local market. We're seeing, homes getting sold much higher than asking price. We're getting offers within 48 hours. Click the link below, fill out the really quick form, and we'll start reaching out to some of our buyers to get offers for your home in the next 48 hours. That's it.
So what is the targeting distance-wise? Do we have to go 15-mile radius?
No, you can do, Brett, where are you? I'm pretty sure I think you can do specific neighborhoods, and they're doing an update that's going to cut out things like demographics like male and female. And they think they're cutting out zip codes, but you can still do like radius. We're doing mostly 15 miles anyway.
Yeah.
And the cool part with YouTube is because they're higher quality and you're getting that higher cost per lead while also getting the, the quality, is you're not going to get 50 leads. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, you're going to get more of those targeted leads as opposed to a bunch. Yeah.
Makes sense. Now with YouTube, obviously these are videos that are going to be on YouTube for people to find, right?
We do them unlisted.
Okay, so these are unlisted videos. So people are not going to find these other than the ad.
Correct.
So is the agent, by using something like this, is it helping their YouTube channel, or what does that look like? So
fast answer, no, it doesn't. It doesn't do anything for the YouTube channel. And this is something we're going to work on some more organic like YouTube video training as well, because that's kind of my specialty, we'll say, for someone that is, they might not have that budget, and it's you're playing between like the time and money, right? It's like, if you want to build it organically, it's going to take a lot longer to get those transactions coming through, getting people interested. And then obviously it's the pay to play game. You can do that. To answer your what was the original question?
Basically, does it help them on their channel?
Yeah. So no. So what it actually does is, if you guys are watching this, if you have a YouTube channel and you're wanting to grow the YouTube channel organically, I would not run ads and put those out there, because all it's going to do is, let's just say, because all YouTube cares about for the organic side of things is watch time. So they're going to push your video to people based on how long they're watching the video. So if you, I'm trying to make this not super technical, but if you're making a, if you're, let's say your ad, right? Someone looks at it, a majority of the people aren't going to watch that through, and they're going to watch like 5 seconds of it.
Right.
YouTube looks at that as a video, and they're like, oh, people are only watching 5 seconds of this video. This person sucks. They don't know how to make content, so we're going to push all his videos down to the bottom of the list. So if the goal is to create organic growth, I would say 100%, I would say keep it unlisted either way. And that would probably just be the best thing.
Okay, so they can still grow on their same channel. They're just going to keep these videos unlisted, so their watch time and their retention isn't affected.
Correct.
Okay, makes sense.
Yep.
Makes sense. Okay. So the agents that you're using, or the agents that are using you guys, I should say, to do this stuff, what has their response been about the leads? What have they been giving you guys as far as feedback?
That's a great question, because we literally just did the analytics from a client we started working with. So actually the one local to me, the one that I worked with that got fired, and now we're working with them. So over the past 3 weeks, we've generated, I think, 43 leads, 9 appointments. 1 has closed so far, and then 3 of them are already pre-approved. And that's within 3 weeks. Yeah, so that's just from the one client. So they're like literally like they're jumping over. I was talking to one of their, because they have like an in-house ISA person, and I was talking to them yesterday. They're like, literally, these are the best leads we've ever seen. And this is a company that's spending like 70 grand a month on ads.
Wow.
Through like multiple different channels. They're paying Zillow, they're paying this, they're paying that, they're paying this marketer, that marketer, they're paying Brett, they're paying, our combined company, they're doing YouTube. So they're doing a lot of different things. But like the head of the ISA that has like 6 or 7 people that works under her, they're like, these are literally the best leads we've ever seen.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
So they're loving them.
Yeah, they're going to double down.
They're loving
them. And also we have the seller side too, because that's something that no one's really been able to crack the code on Facebook. So they're like, we're actually like talking to people that want to sell their home. So it's good feedback.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the marketer side, because one of the things that you've done a lot, and of course, our audience, there's a lot of marketers here, right? And they're always wondering, what do we need to do in terms of video? Like, do we need to produce more content? Do we need to, put ourselves out there? And specifically you on YouTube, and I'm seeing all the videos now, right? Like, it's just, I've seen Brett's videos, I'm seeing your videos. What should marketers do in terms of video content, and how simple can you keep it so that it's not like, for a guy like me, it's just, it seems so overwhelming to like have to shoot a video, then cut it and edit it, and then I guess upload it to YouTube.
Yeah. No, and that's
like, I'm shocked that I can figure out Zoom and Whiskey Thursday.
Barely. We had some troubles in the beginning too. So
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I will say, guys. And this is what I tell everybody, and marketers that are watching this specifically, like, if you take anything from this live video, please listen for like the next minute. I'm going to call everybody out. Hold on.
Whoop, your video went out.
How am I supposed to walk away and say I'll be
kidding.
right back after he says, if you listen to anything, listen to this 1 minute?
Hold on. Let me just make sure my phone's not going to die. Hold on. It gave me like 20 seconds. 20. Oh boy. Hold up.
He's increasing his watch time. That's what he's doing right now.
Okay. Just kidding. Drum roll. Okay. So if you listen to anything, listen to this one thing right here. All of us marketers, right, whether it's through Facebook ads or YouTube ads or whatever it is, we literally all are selling the exact same thing. I don't care if you make this fancy name of, we have live transfers and we can guarantee this amount of appointments and this amount of leads and we guarantee you 19 closings tomorrow. Like, we're all selling the same shit, right? We're all going through Power ISA. We're all going through LeadSpring. We're all generating with a homes list. We're all using Get the Value of Your Home. We're all like,
you're all here.
Like,
and if you're not, you should be, right?
So we're all using the exact same stuff. Real estate agents don't care about any of that, right? They don't care to an extent, right? They don't care about the types of ads you're running, your backyard barn door 500-day follow-up nurture sequence. Like, none of that matters. So because, again, we're all selling the same services, essentially, is you need to differentiate yourself. Like, this is all stuff that Victoria probably talked about two weeks ago too, is like, if we can't differentiate ourselves based on the service, you need to differentiate yourself based on you, right? You being a person and you being a human being.
Yep.
Because I was going to show something on my, something that I found on my computer, but my computer isn't working. Back when we first started on the real estate side, because we just started real estate probably about back in like March of this year, like marketing for that. And I found this old voice note that I got from this potential prospect that sent me a voice message that they saw like a video that I made, and they're like, I want to work with you because you guys have your shit together. I can tell that you've worked with tons of people before and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Karan, we haven't even signed a client yet. And this person like is telling me that they think that I have all of our shit together and we don't know what the hell we're doing. Right. That was before we even jumped into the, you know, the marketing conversion academy. So obviously after that, it got better. But guys, the idea is that it doesn't matter like what type of content you can create. Just get on camera and showcase your personality, right? And the you know, the types of videos that I would make, and this is I think where a lot of people mess up too, is nobody cares about Facebook ads, right? Because I see a lot of people saying like, well, if you don't have a Facebook pixel on your website, then I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Again, nobody cares about that. What they do care about is you establishing yourself as the expert of the go-to person to talk about real estate. This is the easiest thing the comparison that I can make is you don't want to be a real estate marketer, right? You don't want to label yourself as a real estate marketer or an expert within marketing. You want to label yourself and showcase yourself as an expert within real estate that just so happens to do marketing. So with that being said, creating videos around like the major pain points of our specific client, right? So we were talking about this before the show is like, if you guys aren't in the Conversion Academy, like literally stop what you're doing and do that. Because where we got the most value and how we got over a lot of our imposter syndrome was we didn't really know anything about real estate. And within the course, within the program, is you guys talk about, I mean, you know, Matt has a specific video going through like a check-in call with one of the clients. I literally fell asleep to that video like over and over and over again to learn different things within real estate. And I took that information, and then I think there's a video specifically on like just a masterclass of real estate terms and what you need to know. Went through that again, watched that a million times, and I felt like a freaking rock star on these sales calls because I was talking to them about real estate. And then, yeah, the marketing stuff was cool, but I built a relationship around knowing real estate. And then at the end of it, they're like, okay, cool. How much do I pay you? And we didn't even talk about the service. They're just like, we know that we can tell that you're an expert. So we're going to move forward. Types of videos to make. So think about the pain points cool. Think about the specific pain points of the industry, right? Realtors don't know how to market themselves. That's number one, right? Realtors don't know, they don't know anything other than cold calling or going to networking events or, you know, all these different things, right? They don't know what they need to do in their business to see success. So create videos around that. And the biggest thing here, guys, is don't start the video off with, hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Aaron from Revamped Real Estate and blah, 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 right? They don't care about that. So again, start off the video with smacking them in the face with their pain point and then helping them understand, like, I'm going to help you get over that. And the call to action is something like, hey, if you want some more information on this, let me know. So I'll do a really quick rundown, and then you guys can literally copy and paste this and use it for all of your the videos that you make. Starting it off, it's like, if you're a real estate agent and you hate cold calls and you don't want to keep doing these antiquated methods like your 60-year-old broker that told you to do this, watch this really quick video because I'm going to walk you through exactly how to get out of that rut. Boom, you grab the attention, give them a little bit of education, and you're telling them the what and the why and not the how, right? Because the how is, hey, if you want to know exactly how we're doing this for some of our real estate partners and we're seeing lots of success with it, click the link below, book a call with our team. We'll go through, ask you a couple questions. If it makes sense, cool, we'll talk about it. If not, we'll point you in the right direction. That is literally every single piece of my content. Like, go back and listen to them, and it's basically the same thing recycled, just saying different things, different. So, sorry, I talked a lot just then.
That's awesome. No, it's how good keep going. I mean, and I'm pretty sure people that are watching are like, wow, like that doesn't seem that hard, right? Like it's, no, that's like, talk about length of video. Like, what do we have to, like, even me, like listening to you, I'm thinking of, I can do that. Right?
Exactly.
Like I could do that. If I can do it, anybody can. If that's all I need to do is basically call out pain points and then push them into an appointment on video, then that's pretty simple, right? Like it's not a hard thing. But so why is it that I'm just trying to think as to like, why is it that we're not doing more of this stuff?
I honestly, I just think it's everyone just overthinks the shit out of everything. It's like, I think that's the big thing with most things, right? Whether it's video content or starting an online business or making some calls to bring in people into your agency, right? It's like, we're overthinking everything from the point of, oh no, what's going to happen if I pick up the phone and they say no, or they pick up the phone and they say F off, right? Like, we're just overthinking everything that could go wrong, right? That's the biggest thing.
So okay, I'll tell you one of my challenges.
Okay.
And maybe this, am I alone now? I'll get there.
No, you're good. I was making sure we were going to die.
Am I going to talk to myself now? Whiskey Thursday. Everybody left me. So one of my biggest challenges, like you said, you overthink it a little bit.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that, I turn my camera on. We do, and it's not that we don't do a lot. We obviously do a lot of video content. One of the big things that we do, that like most of the emails that we send out has video content built into the emails. We send them to landing pages with videos. We've obviously have a lot of content. I've over 280 videos that we've created just inside of like one of our accounts for Vimeo. Anyways. So like we've created a lot of content, but I find it challenging because just to create one-offs, right? Like, okay, just go on camera and talk about this. And then I find myself, it's like, okay, I'll go on camera. And then it's like an hour and a half later, I've done 55 takes and I don't like any of them. Or it's like, shit, I forgot to wear my shirt. Or shit, I forgot to turn on the mic. Or whatever it is, right?
So I think, with that, dude, I really think it is somebody put it, the analysis by paralysis, right? Like, from what I've noticed is, because obviously, like, I post, like, a lot of my videos are, like, we'll say higher quality and, like, I edit them because that's just what I've done for the past 10 years, right? Like, I can whip up videos really quickly. But if you saw the amount of takes that I did on some of these videos, like, it's insane. Like, I'm putting together a blooper reel right now because it's so crazy the amount of takes that I do sometimes. But I think it's in my head, I just go into it understanding that I'm probably going to do a bunch of takes depending on the type of video. And then I just do it until I get it right. And another thing I think too is like, not
do you prep at all?
Sorry
to interrupt, but do you prep at all before? At all? Like,
do you
put like a checklist together and then tape some like, bullet points to your wall or anything? Do you do any of that shit?
No, well, it depends, right? It depends on the type of video. If it's a YouTube video that I know is going to be a little bit longer and I probably can't talk about the whole thing, I'll bullet point different things out. Other than that, not really. It's kind of just something that, and this is what I'll say too, is being able to speak about a specific subject. Like, for example, let's call it real estate, right? If you don't feel like, not you, but just in general, someone that's watching this, if you don't feel like you can create like, a video talking about your client's specific pain points, like, I would do some more research, because there's a lot of times that like I'll jump on video and I can literally talk about these pain points all day long because I've done a lot of research, listened to a lot of podcasts and things like that about real estate. And it's why I come off so confident on camera, right? Like, if we were to talk about, I don't know, like hockey, right? I don't know anything about hockey. So me being able to create content around hockey, it's not going to work, right? I'm going to mess up a bunch of times. I'm going to do a bunch of takes, probably have to put out a bunch of notes. But because I'm like, just literally like, I talk to real estate people all day long, I'm, listening to these different things. It's like, I can have the conversation around it. That's the biggest thing. But going back to what you said, I would just say biggest like piece of advice too is like, people don't care as much as you think they do. People don't.
Something else that I've realized, and it's just from my own experience, people forget a lot quicker than you think. Right? And that's a huge thing, right? So like you screw up, and it's one of the things that's kind of gotten me used to Whiskey Thursday, right? It's like, how we just fuck around here. It's like, nobody's going to remember tomorrow.
Not if they're doing it right. I mean, look, I just sat here and watched you guys talk for like 2 minutes before I remembered I wasn't on camera. So, like, Whiskey Thursday.
But that's the reality of social media, and just, people forget really, really quickly. They move on to the next thing, right? And that's another thing too, which is something that I think we all need to think about, and why this is so critical is, people forget. Guess what? Aaron Martinez, if he doesn't put out another video tomorrow or the next day, he's old news on Monday.
Yeah.
And we all are, right?
And that was actually a really good point that I was going to add to that too, is I wouldn't really think of like, don't think of content as like you need to be on like 100% giving like crazy value every single time. Like the way that I think about content is, yeah, they're going to be like decent videos. Hopefully I give out some value, but my main goal with this is to create a positive association with Aaron Martinez and real estate marketing. That is my entire goal. So whether like, there was a post I did the other day, I was making sushi with my family, with my wife and the little ones. And literally like I spun it in a way where I was like, hey, like we're making some sushi, blah, blah, blah. And then if you need, need some help with your real estate marketing, we're still doing, this stuff. All right. So I made like a joke about it, but again, like it doesn't always have to be so like on point, you're going through entire 30-minute slideshow, anything like that. But it's literally just like creating that association and having, when people see me, they associate, like literally, like I said, we've been doing the real estate marketing stuff for maybe the past couple of months. And I know I've created more content than pretty much every other real estate marketer. Maybe the only other people that I can think of is obviously you guys, and Luke. But those are the only two other people out of the, and guys, everybody's watching this videos. Real estate marketing is probably the like second most saturated industry to go after, for marketing, right under like, let's say fitness, right? Personal trainers, gyms, things like that. But I know we've already created more content than everybody else. I don't say that in a cocky way. I say that I just know, like, I know that's the case, and that's the case for a lot of industries. So I say that, again, not to be cocky, but to show you guys that there's literally so much opportunity to capture this market and like be the other ones that are creating video content. Because again, nobody's doing it for these reasons, right? They're too, they overthink everything. They're scared to be on camera, whatever it is. Well, guess what? Like by the time you get out of that, I'm going to be scared on video, somebody else is going to come along and they're going to make more videos than you. And they're going to, again, take over the marketplace. So,
well, and it's something else that I found interesting that just in my own experience as well, and not necessarily with creating content, but watching other people's content. It's kind of like what email was, maybe 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, where, Matt, when we kept telling people like, just continue with the email marketing because at least you hit the inbox, right? And it's the same thing with video, right? Like you create video content. Like I'm finding myself, like I scroll through my news feed or whatever, or on YouTube or whatever, and I'm seeing the marketers, right? Like I'm seeing, okay, this marketer created a video. I watched like the first 5 seconds and that just creates, another engagement, right? That reminder that person is still whoever they are. And then the following day I see that again. And then the following day I see that again. And then maybe I engage that time. Or engage, like it just, you're staying top of mind with this content. And like you said, it doesn't have to be perfect, right, Aaron?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And there's really two things that I look at, and to the words we'll say that's helped us out a lot. And number one, that is leverage and perception, right? The ability to leverage like different things, like the YouTube thing, right? Like, it's not like I've had some success with YouTube, but I just literally just use that as a leverage thing, right? Same, like we're marketers. Our job is literally to make things sound more exciting than they are, right? Same thing that you guys did with the copy of this Whiskey Thursday, right? You threw Zillow's name in there because I worked with Zillow. You threw in, I think Matt wrote something about, I have 176,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yeah, that's great, but you use it specifically to, again, capture an audience. Same thing with us. Right, is we're making these things, again, back to everyone's doing the same thing. We want to get to a point where we are just making things sound better than what they are. So that would be the leverage side. And then the perception is the more that you talk about real estate, you can literally have 0 clients. But if you go on video every day, every other day, talking about real estate and this and that, like you're automatically going to be perceived as the expert in the space. Same thing with, think about you guys everyone gets hit with ads. And the more times you see people on video and the more times you see them on there, know, like, and trust goes through the roof. And then by the time, like, this is the conversation. All of you guys that are watching this video, there's a good chance that you're spending a lot of time, if you're in the real estate space, you're spending time cold calling real estate agents. You're, sending cold emails. You're sending video audits. You're, going to networking events, right? But here's the thing. Those are all, it's good, right? Like everyone has to start somewhere. But it's so much easier when you can create one. Like every time I create a video, you guys can go look through some of my comments. Every time I make a video, I generate anywhere from 6 to 10 phone calls. Again, those are all inbound.
Wow.
They're all people that want to talk to me. And they're in a position, like I'm in a position where I'm setting myself as the expert. Now, it didn't start that way, right? I had to probably went the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month without any phone calls. But now people, again, have made that positive association with Aaron in real estate. And that conversation, when I tell you guys, it's literally a lay down sale. I'm not like, it's so simple because they've already seen me. They've done their research on me. They're reaching out to me and I can immediately give them my price. And I can't even remember the last time I've like gotten a price objection. Again, I'm not saying that to be cocky. I'm saying that because they're coming to me. I set the price. They already assume that I'm going to get them great results, which now, of course, we are. But it just makes that authority so much bigger and easier to set those phone calls.
Yeah, so Kevin makes a good point here. Is most people, and he makes a really, really good point because, like I'm okay. Come on Whiskey Thursday and mess around here, have a couple of drinks, chit chat with Aaron, and deal with Matt for a little while.
You can put up with me for a short amount of time. We get it.
I'm just kidding. But to go to start my video and actually start talking about content, whatever, or a specific topic. But he makes a good point. He says most people are scared to be on video. It's not that I'm scared, but they are not scared to be on Zoom calls. Create your videos as if you are talking to one person, and this will make you more comfortable.
Yep.
And a lot of the content we're creating now is me and Matt on Zoom calls. Part of it's Whiskey Thursday, some of it is interviews, some of it's a lot of the content that we're now creating is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of our new ads, if Facebook didn't reject it.
Yeah, listen,
they love doing that.
We're coming close to 10 o'clock here, and Aaron, thank you so much for sticking around with us.
Of course.
And everybody watching, thanks for your support and watching Whiskey Thursday. And a couple really, really quick things I want to cover before we go. Let's talk about equipment, because obviously you're you're in this world, you're creating video content, what you're doing. A guy like me, I picked up an $89 mic I had a used a microphone stand, like a music microphone stand. I hooked it. It fit. It actually fits on here.
The threads were the same between the mic and the stand.
So what? And I'm looking at your video right now, and I'm like, damn, your video looks better than ours. So let's talk a little bit really quickly about sort of equipment. What do we need to create more content that is appealing to the audiences we're trying to reach?
That's a fantastic question, because it's one that I get pretty much on every single video. It's either like, how do I work with you, or like, what camera do you use? And the biggest thing is, again, back to what we talked about before, is before I even answer those questions is, number one, don't worry about the equipment, because I'm had to end up using my iPhone. As long as you have an iPhone and you have good lighting, the one thing that I would say invest in before you do anything else is a mic, some sort of a clip-on mic, right? It's the easiest way. Or there's other types of mics that you can get that plug into the Thunder port, or the port on your cell phone. But the general rule of thumb, this goes back to video stuff, is people can forgive decent video, but as soon as your audio is shit, they're leaving the video, right? So that's echoey, if you're in the echoey room, right? If you are there's background noise, there's wind, right? That's the worst. You think back to any time you went to a video and you couldn't hear what they were saying, that's the biggest part, right? But if the video is or that's from an older cell phone, whatever it is, as long as you can see them, it's fine, right? So I would say before anything else, invest into.
Think about it. Podcasts are super popular, right?
Yeah.
You don't see anybody.
And exactly. there's times where if I don't have great Wi-Fi, or great internet access, when I went up north last year, I didn't have great internet, so the video, I just turned the video quality all the way. I didn't care. I was just listening to something, right?
Yep.
So
exactly.
So sound is what we really need to focus on.
Just the one of the first things that I would. Yeah. So there's pretty like decently, like if you go on Amazon, the last time that I looked, you can get like a one that goes directly in your phone, just clips onto your shirt for like $30. But it's a lot
Man,
better.
so I picked up, I don't know where they are. I picked up the Rode Wireless kit.
Oh, nice. Those are really good. That's the one
The
that
$200 kit, right? $200,
yeah.
right? Best investment in sound I have ever made. It's
So
unbelievable,
good.
right?
Yeah,
So good.
And you can like, because the other thing too is like, even if I'm pretty close to my phone right now, but a lot of times like you won't have the ability to be like right up on it, and that's kind of like not the best look sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things that could like just take your video to the next level, because the camera on the audio on your phone, it works, but unless you're like really close on it, I can be like even out here and it probably sounds like shit. Right. So, but that's going to be like,
sounds so bad.
Sounds really good.
Exactly. So
that's pretty good.
Which phone is that?
So the framing, like I'm usually probably going to be about like this, and this is what people will see of me. So again, audio first. And then don't make excuses for yourself, guys. Like as soon as you start like making conditions of like, well, I'll make a YouTube channel once I get a nicer camera, or make a YouTube video or a Facebook video once I get a mic, right? Don't listen to that part of it. Like make a piece of video content tomorrow, make sure your phone is in front of you, and you'll be good to go, right? Wait a minute. So that'd be the first thing. And then in terms of cameras, like if you guys want a decent DSLR, the one that I always recommend, I've been using for like the past probably 5 years, is a Sony A6300.
Yeah, everybody's recommending that right now.
Yeah, it's really good in low light. The autofocus, depending on the lens, is pretty simple to use. It's under $1,000 for like the kit lens, which is the one that like the lens that comes with it. And yeah, it's super portable. It's not like a huge camera or anything. And it's like, that's literally all I've been using for probably, like I said, the past like 4 or 5 years. And then yeah, ring light, if you get a ring light, definitely get like I think it's 18 inches, or maybe it's a bigger. Don't get like the 12-inch one, because there's like small for like your phone. Get the bigger one, because it outputs like better light. I mean, mine is on a super low setting, but if I crank it up, it's like,
that's what I've got. I think it's the 18.
Yeah, same thing.
It's one of them.
Like, so literally, like, and then it has like 2 different settings. So like right now I have some like orange in it, so I don't look super like I'm a makeup guru or whatever. So yeah, you can do it to like the red, so it look a little bit warmer. So I mean, it's one of the best investments that I've made, because it it allows your cameras for the sensors to work, a bunch of technical stuff. But yeah.
And this is stuff we're talking about, because I only bring this up because Gus says I'm still using my crappy laptop webcam. This is stuff we're talking about, like if it's an option. If it's not, don't let it stop you.
Yep.
You have
exactly. So I mean, yeah, lighting. I mean, it really, honestly, if you have an iPhone, get some lighting and get a clip-on mic, and you're good to go.
Yeah. No, exactly. And what mic do you recommend? I think I got like a $20 lavalier mic or something off of Amazon.
Yeah, anything on. I would look at the reviews on the ones that, if you do get it from Amazon, just because some of them like only work with specific like types of phones and types of adapters and things like that. But yeah, so I would just do the research before you jump too far into the whole audio thing. But as long as it's a clip on, it can get somewhat close to your face, you should be fine.
Makes sense. So I'm trying to think, when did you jump into the academy?
I'm pretty sure, because we really like jumped into real estate stuff in probably like February. So I think maybe like end of March, something like that.
Okay. Because you already had a background with real estate, it sounds like, and with video and all this. So for somebody like you jumping into the academy, like what was the reason? What was the benefit?
Reason, I think for us, like one of the things, and it's funny that we're talking about this, because as soon as I jumped in, I'd seen you guys all over the place, wherever, I forgot exactly where it was, but I joined the group, and then, I was just going through some of your free content. I think I was in the group for like a day, and then I reached out to Shane. I was like, hey, like, let me give you some money. I want to jump into this thing. So
take long.
He messaged me. It wasn't long at all. I already knew that you guys knew what, you were doing. Again, back to like, if you guys didn't create videos, you didn't do Whiskey Thursdays, like I would have probably not jumped in the program, but because you were creating video content, you were really consistent with it, you were establishing yourself as the expert, and again, the perception was you guys were fucking killing it, which you are. it was a no-brainer. Like I literally just threw, the investment in. There was no questions asked. I literally begged Shane. I was like, yo, give me the page, whatever it is, I'm going to give you the money. So again, I jumped in, and that day I messaged my business partner. I was like, we will be on Whiskey Thursday in the next 5 months. And here we are. So it was my mission to do, to do work and like, obviously get the note, get out there and whatever. So yeah, so I think the biggest things for us was just like, we knew that you guys were the experts. So it was like, hey, like, let's just not mess around for the next couple months and let's just learn from these guys because they already have it figured out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And did it live up to everything that you thought it would be?
And more. Yeah. I think Karan and I were talking about this the other day and even earlier in the live stream, but some of the biggest things, and obviously the content part of it and the knowledge around real estate, that helped us out a lot. But I'm really big with just community and relationships, right? Like I've met a shit ton of people through this mastermind group, right? Like I've connected with Kyrie, connected with Brett, connected with Victoria, connected with Ed, connected with like literally so many different people within the space that I wouldn't have, connected with Gus, right? Like so many people that I wouldn't have if I hadn't jumped into the program. So obviously the content was, I got way more than like what we paid for, but I think that was the biggest thing for us too, which is the community aspect.
Love it. I love it. We got to throw those in there, right? It's Whiskey Thursday. So let's see if we have any questions. It's about 9:45, so we're getting ready to wrap up. Man, the time flies on this show.
Yes, sir.
Let's see.
Good though.
I know, right? I feel like we've gotten a lot of really good stuff, especially for anybody who's thinking about creating video. I think like the key is just go freaking do it. So actually, that's a great question. Maybe not, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Somebody getting started. Let's say they're a marketer. They want to get started. Do they start with doing organic or do they start with doing paid ads? YouTube.
Organic, 100%. Because you want to, it's the same thing we talk. I didn't really touch on this, but I'm actually a coach within a mentorship group that like helps agencies grow. So that's why I'm like super passionate about like the agency space. But so in terms of that, right, you want to make sure that your processes are dialed in before you start throwing money at paid ads, right? So for example, like the recommendation that we always make is crush it first with organic, crush it with the messaging, with all these different things, and then go out and like add fuel to the fire, as opposed to the other way around, which would basically be like building a house on a foundation of sand. Yeah. Right. You don't want to get into that position, start spending a bunch of money. Your sales process isn't dialed in. Your prospecting isn't dialed in. You generate a bunch of phone calls. Every single one of them say, no, that's too expensive. And you're back at square one, except you literally have like $5,000 less, right? For all the money they put into ads. Yep. So definitely say, dial in on your organic stuff first. And then at the end of the day, like the better the videos that they are, the better that they're going to perform, right? So if you're using some of your first like videos of you being nervous, shaky, not really knowing what you're talking about, whatever it is, like your on-camera presence isn't that great, like that's going to show on the ad and people aren't going to trust you as much. So crush it with organic, learn the process, and then add fuel to the fire.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yep.
And for somebody who's doing organic, can they actually expect to see, calls booked or something like that from doing a few videos, or does it have to be 10 videos or 100 videos or consistency, or like, what do they need to like work on to actually be able to organically bring in sales calls?
Yeah, that's a good question. So 2 things I would focus on. Number 1 is making sure that your friends list is filled with people in your industry, right? Because if you post a bunch of videos on Facebook, you don't have real estate friends, like it's not going to really do anything for you. So making sure that you are adding, a bunch of people within your niche, whatever it is, we call it real estate, solar, whoever you're going after, right? Have a bunch of those people. And then it's going to be consistency, right? Like the first video that, maybe I had an unfair advantage because I had like 200, 300 like real estate people that like agents that knew me because of the company that I used to work with. But that was like the initial push. And then after that point, like even, I think it was yesterday, I made a video, and you guys can look at the comments, or yesterday or the day before, there was like 4 or 5 people that are like, hey, like send me a link. I need to book a call with you. So I think today we booked like 4 or 5 calls. I think we closed a couple of people on the YouTube thing yesterday. There was like 3 or 4 calls that were booked today just from organic posts. Mm-hmm. So definitely a learning process, and like it's like that snowball effect of like, yeah, you'll get a bite here and there, but once you do it consistently, like I said, like if I know pretty consistently, if I post a piece of video content, and the call to action is to book a call, because it's not always book a call, right? Sometimes I'm just like, hey, if you have any questions, let me know, and I just drop it, right? I don't have a call to action. I'll still get people that book a call from that, because again, I'm that reverse psychology of like, hey, I'm not going to sell you anything, but they're like, hey, I wanted to be sold, right? So it's like that kind of like reverse type thing, but yeah, just the more consistently that you're doing it, the more that you're giving value and not expecting anything in return, that's when you start to really see the snowball effect.
And when you say consistency, are we talking once a day, once a week, once a month?
I'd say start at once a day. I'm sorry, once a week. Start at
once a day and then go to 10 times a day.
Where are we? I say start at one time a day? Where are we headed? Where the freak are we headed?
No, so I'd say like minimum one time a week, but also understand like it's just the concept of what you put in is what you're going to get out, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're posting multiple times per week, it's just that quicker, association that's going to happen in people's heads of, okay, this person does real estate marketing, things like that. So starting there, I think what we're at right now is like, I think we're posting like 5 times a week, 2 of those being video.
Okay. Makes sense. Let's see here. With that, are you guys using any tools, vidIQ, TubeBuddy, like anything for optimizing your videos for SEO or organic search or?
Yeah. So for YouTube, yes. That's like the name of the game for YouTube. If you want to grow and you're just posting videos to post videos, like you're not going to gain traction, right? So TubeBuddy is the one that I use pretty religiously. And then we create content that people are searching for, right? Because if you're creating content that no one's searching for, it's not going to get found if you don't have a lot of subscribers. So for YouTube, yes, we use TubeBuddy. We optimize tags, title, description, metadata, thumbnail, like all that stuff is tracked. For Facebook, it's literally just like, how can I make this sound the sexiest? And then I post it up there.
Makes sense.
Cool.
And Gus is asking, how do you plan out your content?
That's something that I'm still working on, to be honest. It's not, I think for me, because I've just gotten like
steal Gus's content. That's how you can.
I go to his live video and I'm like,
you just hey, he does like he's gone crazy. He does lives every single day.
Yeah, I keep getting hit with the notifications. So Gus, you're killing with content.
Yeah.
But yeah, for planning content, I think for me, I literally just like, if I get an idea, I just do it like same day or maybe like the next day, or just write it down. Some inspiration for you guys, like what I do. And I think one thing that, some people struggle with is like, I can't come up with ideas, or, I don't want to seem like I'm copying somebody or whatever it is. Get over that, because the one thing that I've realized is no matter what type of piece of content I've said, there's a great chance that somebody else has done it too. Right. So there's never really going to be like an original thought. Full transparency, the majority of our videos are like, I'll be listening to a podcast in the morning, someone will make a great point, and then I make a video around that.
Yeah.
And then I give my own thoughts on it, right? So for example, sometime earlier this week, I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how automation can't like replace a human being. So I literally made an entire like 2 or 3 minute video about that, just with my own spin and my own thoughts on it. And then I just kind of went from there. So it's kind of sporadic in terms of the planning, but trying to get better.
We have somebody asking, is it Events? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but he says, is he willing to sell his real estate content for buyer leads?
What do you mean?
Are you willing to sell the videos? I'm guessing that you're getting.
We all want your videos now.
They want to buy the seller and the buyer videos that you're using.
Gotcha.
Speaking of which, I think you guys have your own training you guys have recently launched. Is that right?
Training? No, we just launched a Facebook. Well, not launched a Facebook group. Brett had a Facebook group before, and then we just revamped it for real estate specific. So you can join the Facebook group if you want. We'll do like a lot of free content in there. In terms of training, it's not something we're launching just yet because we want to. It's just a done for you thing right now.
Okay, so it's a done for you service.
Yeah, it's done for you at least for right now. In the future, probably we'll do it as like not a course, but maybe like a done with you type thing. But because we haven't like done as much like testing, yeah, we'll do a master class down the road. But I would feel unethical doing that because like we haven't tested enough in like enough markets. Like we have like 6 or 7 people, like different markets that we're doing it right now.
I mean, you definitely got to get it tested and make sure it's solid.
Get it
but
dialed in
you're seeing good results from what you're doing currently.
Just use the money from the masterclass to test.
We'll pick a couple markets, but yeah, every single market
just
is
kidding. By the way, we don't do that. I'm just kidding.
Disclaimer.
Oh man, love it. No, that makes sense. So it's not available yet, events. Let's see here. What else do we have for questions? I'm going to see if we got a few more.
Yeah, Brian here. He says, best ISA you've used on paper lead systems. Already have SMS and email set up, struggling with my agents picking up the damn phone and calling right away and not trying to rip them apart and scolding them like a bunch of babies.
He's not bitter at all. He's not bitter at all. But he's curious as far as a paper lead ISA system who you enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, Gus is in the chat, so definitely reach out to him. I mean, if I'm being honest, if I was a real estate, like a brokerage owner, and my agents weren't picking up the phones, like they'd be gone. I mean, that's my thing. It's like,
right.
If literally if you're out showing houses and whatever, like that's great, but you're not doing anything and they just not going to pick up the phone because they like their pride is like way too much or whatever it is, or they have a big ego, like, bye, Felicia. That's what I would say.
Right. No, it makes sense. Yeah. Like say Gus is in the chat right down there. So message him or Gus, just say hi. Let's see here. So we got, I thought we had another question here somewhere. I think everybody's been so engaged the entire time. They just,
of course, Gus just threw up his
there it is.
His link here. Jacinta asked, Aaron, can you tell us about how many clients you have developed and how long that took?
Oh yeah, where's your agency?
And after this group.
Oops, sorry, I thought that was the end of the question. My bad. No, where is your agency at currently? In terms of size and clients and employees and whatnot.
Yep. So right now before the group, we had one, because we were trying to develop, like figuring out what the whole process looked like. So before jumping into the program, I think we had like maybe one client that was paying us like $650. And then we scaled to about 10 grand a month within probably about a month and a half, I think it was. Month and a half to really like going like serious with it, because we kind of like messed around at the very beginning. But once we had like the right tools, we had all the system dialed in, things like that. We scaled pretty quickly up to 10 grand. I think we're still hovering around like the same, I'd say about 10, 15, because we've been like literally taking over and then starting the entire new offer for the YouTube stuff. But that we're going to scale extremely quickly because like nobody else is doing it. So
yeah.
So probably about
you got
10,
the
15.
systems.
Yeah, and then we have so I think we have two VAs right now. One's doing prospecting, one's doing like client fulfillment. And then of course we just plugged in with Brett, so he he's gonna obviously help out a lot on that aspect because he has a bunch of clients already. So that's where we are with the agency for right now.
And I love that you went, like, the fact that you had one client, you joined the program, a month and a half later, you're at 10K a month. That's great. But to anybody who's listening, like, it's not necessarily how it always goes. There are a lot of people out there who have a piece of canvas and a paintbrush, but there are only so many like famous painters, right? Like not everybody is an artist. Not everybody can paint the Mona Lisa or whatever. So like Aaron clearly took massive action and freaking did, you did work. You brought experience to the table. I mean, you did a lot. Like just, again, having the ingredients to make a cake does not make you suddenly a baker. Okay?
Yeah.
So like when they ask that, I always get a little nervous just because like somebody's like, oh wait, you bought this program and you went from 0 to 10K in 45 days. I got to buy this program. And it's like, I don't want to set you up for disappointment. Like, Aaron, tell us about some of the work that went into that.
Yeah. It's all expectations, right? 'Cause like I said before, we're in a I'm a coach within a mentorship program, and like I was like 70% of people come in and do absolutely nothing and make no money. It's a high ticket program, right? So it's like, it's the same thing with courses. I think courses, like, even when you guys can probably speak on it more, I've looked at statistics, and people, like, they'll buy a course, and like 90% of people, they'll buy the course and they don't even open it. It's like, that's the, so obviously that's besides the point. In terms of the work that went in, like, yeah, lots of trial and error. I think we signed on like our first 3 or 4 clients we like got, and then they left a month later because our systems weren't dialed in. We weren't setting proper expectations, things like that. Obviously the course helped with that, because we were saying like, yeah, you can make your money back in the first month. And then we realized that, yeah, that's not the case. Like, sometimes it takes 3 months for, some of these deals that, yeah, they might, these leads might come through month 1, but they're not going to convert over until, 90 days from then. So that was obviously a learning process, but yeah, I think it was a lot of trial and error. We got on a lot of phone calls, got a lot of no's, right? And then obviously just building everything up in terms of the brand. It became a lot easier because we created that positive association. I'd say like 90% of our clients have come from organic content. So it made it easier. Yeah.
Makes sense. All right. We got 3 more questions here. First of all, what do you charge for retainers currently? What's a range? I'm sure you're not doing the same thing all day long.
Yeah. So with because we were originally doing the Facebook stuff, we were starting at $1,500 a month. Now we're starting minimum $3,500 for the YouTube stuff. Just because it's a lot more. It's a completely done for you. Like, I have to get pretty and get on camera and create a custom video for their business. So it's we're not doing that for the same as, like, again, a Facebook ads campaign. So yeah,
you're a paid actor.
There you go. Exactly. You got to pay something.
There you go. Don't tell SAG. Gustavo says, did you launch during the start of COVID?
Yep.
And you still had that kind of success?
We got our first client in end of March. So literally, like, right as everything, started going crazy.
Wow. All right. Last question. I think this is the one that everybody has probably been waiting for throughout the evening. Where did you buy that colorful jacket?
That's a good question. Yeah, so everyone, it's funny, like, no one, I haven't been getting that question till like recently for some reason, but long story short, that company is called Oppo Suits. They were one of my sponsors when I was doing Snapchat stuff. So they were just like, hey, anytime you go to an event, like, we're going to send you a suit. So that one was some event in New York. It's called like the Shorty Awards. So it was like, I got nominated for like Snapchatter of the Year. So I went to that, and they sent me that suit, which was crazy. So yeah, I have 16 of those suits. They're all obviously different, but I have like 3 summer suits. When I hit 100 grand on YouTube, I went skydiving in their red one. The Snapchat award show, I wore the yellow one. Different Christmas events I went to, there's like 3 or 4 different like Christmas suits that I wore. So
these are awesome.
Yeah, they've come up with so many. They've actually come up with masks too recently. I was like, I'll have to reach back to, I don't think he works there anymore, my old contact, my old connect. But they have like masks that match their suits. They have summer suits now. It's they got lots of stuff. So
love it. Awesome, man.
Well, listen, we're 10:04.
I know, right?
Hey, everybody that's watching, listen, if you've been watching the entire time, I think somebody asked, actually, is it Super Trooper time yet? Like about 45 minutes ago. But guys, if you've been watching the entire time, and don't cheat on this, right? This is not like, it's not a contest.
You're not going to win anything.
Right. But if you've been watching the entire time, just hashtag Super Trooper. Let us know that you've been here since the beginning and watching the entire show here with Aaron Martinez. Aaron, thank you so much for hanging out with us for a couple hours here. So much amazing information. We appreciate your time, and we appreciate, the support you've given us. You've given the REMCM group, as well as, support you've provided inside of the Academy. We're so grateful that you've been part of this program. We love seeing the amazing, growth and support, growth and success that you've had inside of your own business. And we can't wait to see how much more you're going to do with this YouTube stuff, because you know who's going to be knocking on your door.
We'll be setting up, like I said, we'll have to get me and Brett will have to come on once we like really get it dialed in. We'll tell you guys all the secrets.
Absolutely. Guys, thanks so much. I've got Franklin here, has been watching the entire time. Gus, of course, you know, always here supporting us. Thank you. Kevin's been here, super trooper, awesome. Emiliano, Shahara has been here. Curtis is here. Gio's here as well. Awesome, guys. Thanks so much for watching and tuning in. Matt, it's been a pleasure.
It has.
Yeah, great looking t-shirt. Love it.
No, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. You picked the right size for it. You know me so well.
Absolutely. And we've got next week we've got who we got
Bao.
next? Bao, it's coming on.
Next week is Bao.
First appearance next week. Can't wait for that.
All right. I'm excited about that one. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it should be good.
And we got some new ones that are also in the mix. Ravi's after that, I think.
Ooh, Ravi's
I'm working on a couple other ones that are gonna be really good. So should be a good time.
Yeah.
But again, Aaron, thank you so much for being on, man. We appreciate it. Where can people find more about, what you're doing or follow you or connect with you?
Yeah, so easiest way is just add me as a friend on Facebook. I don't think I'm at 5,000. I don't think I'm even near 5,000 friends. I think I have 2,000. So lots of spots open on there. So if you want to be my friend, if you guys have any questions about content creation, about YouTube, like anything like that, slide into my DMs, ask me questions. I'll more often than not, I send voice messages back. So it's just so much easier for me. But yeah, one thing that I wanted to end, guys, is because you guys, the academy is open again, right?
It is, yeah.
100%.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to leave this with you guys because I think this is super, super it's helpful. Something that I learned a long time ago is if you guys are watching this and you really want to build your agency and you haven't, like, whether it's this program or another program, whatever it is remember, you need to do the things that you're telling other people to do. So do not expect somebody to pay you $1,500, $1,000, $2,000 a month for your agency and invest in you if you're not willing to invest in yourself. So nice way of saying this, if you want to build an agency specifically for real estate, don't be dumb and just jump into the program because you're going to scale infinitely quicker and not look 6 months down the road and you're going to figure out, oh, why am I still in the same spot? Figure out now, do what you need to do, jump to the program, get all the answers, and scale to the moon. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, and I love that because I think it was last year, a couple of years ago, we had Christian Santiago, who is somebody that's come from the Dan Henry program, somebody that actually coached way back and just kind of gave him some advice on the real estate stuff way before the beta program. And he did a testimonial for the academy, and he said something in that testimonial, which was basically, if you don't invest in yourself, don't expect anybody else to invest in you. And I love that, right? Because it's so true. So thanks for, again, thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it, Aaron. And Matt, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you.
There you go.
You're going to be in your new house soon.
I will be. Hopefully.
Yeah,
everything goes smoothly. We'll be there.
You won't be in your basement anymore.
I know, right?
It'll
nice.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
I'm going to have a main floor office.
It was a blast, Aaron. Thank you so much. Time goes by really, really quickly on Whiskey Thursday. So
yeah, stick around, Aaron.
Really
thanks for having me on.
And everybody watching, take it easy. Hey, if you're watching from YouTube, make sure to come inside of our Facebook group, Real Estate Marketing Conversion Mastery. We are here live every Thursday, 8 p.m. with 8
p.m.-ish,
like 8 p.m.-ish. We always got awesome guests like Aaron. So with that, guys, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Peace.
All right. Stick around, Aaron. Let's see.
Cool.